Why do white people have to buy game tags, but indigenous people can unalive whatever they want? Enlighten me. Well, I can tell that you're jealous, but let's jump into it. Because of the treaties. The legal binding agreements. Because indigenous people, that's how they survived in North America, was hunting and fishing and game. And what did white people do when they came here and no longer wanted the indigenous population to survive? They unalived all of the buffalo, they unalived all of the whales, almost to complete extinction. We're talking over 300 million buffalo, unalived down to 1,000, in an attempt to take away indigenous people's food source. And that is after the settlers had used the buffalo and pemmican, which was from buffalo. This is after they had relied on indigenous people providing them with food when they were here. Because unfortunately, the history of your people is things like this. Do you see what this is? Can you tell what this is? Can you tell down here? What is that? That's a buffalo head. This was done to take away indigenous people's food source. That was the only purpose of it. But why are indigenous people allowed to? Because the treaties, the legal binding agreements, nation-to-nation treaties, where indigenous people said we want the right to hunt, fish, and continue our traditional way of life on our land. And you don't have that same access because, unfortunately, your history and the legacy that your ancestors left was when they are given the rights to do things like that, they always take it too far. They always colonize. And you're talking about tags. I grew up in a hunting and fishing town. Do you think that I am not perfectly well aware that all of you people who hunt don't take more than your tags and try and hide it? I grew up with a dad who loved fishing. I knew how to bait a line, hook everything, all the minnows, leeches, all of it. You think I don't know that what my white dad was taking more than his allotted amount of fish? We all know what you do. Because to you, it's just about not getting caught, right? But you're saying that indigenous people, when they go and they hunt moose, they leave parts of the moose. Be so for real. No, part of the issue with whaling was that they were taking the whales and unaliving them just to unalive them and taking one piece of the whale and leaving the rest to rot. I grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, which is where I'm from, and there's this little island. And I'm not even going to name the island. It's just this little island. You get there from a bridge, and the deer are so used to people that they'll just come up to your car to take apples. And do you know what happens every single year? Almost every single year, someone takes their bow, like a crossbow, and they unalive the deer and take just their head. Yeah, that's not indigenous people. Very long way to just say you're jealous and you don't know your own history. If you're gonna claim that you guys don't do it for fun, let's talk about big game hunting. Let's talk about the lions. Talk about all the hunting that goes on in Africa, the rhinos,